Hi boys and girls, it's Mrs. Lane here. I hope that you all had a wonderful weekend and you're back and ready to learn some math. Now we are on lesson 25 volume. For most of you it's going to be pages 260 and 261. If you have the 2017 version, you're going to be on pages 252 and 253. Now there's some slight differences between the 2017 and 2020 version of the book. But if you are in the 2017 version, just follow along. You just will have a few more questions in your book, but they're really simple to answer. And we're going to talk through them and walk through them. So let's start with what's in the tan box. It says each edge of a cube is 1 yard long. The cube is going to be filled with small cubes. So you can see you've got a cube right there, 1 yard long, and then it's filled with smaller cubes. Each small cube has edges that are 1 foot long. So this is a foot, this is a foot, this is a foot. And we know that it takes 3 feet to make 1 yard. So, and that's what it says right there. Remember that there are 3 feet in 1 yard. So let's go ahead and look at question A. A says, write the volume of the large cube in cubic yards. So when we look at that, we've got, what's the volume there? Well, you guys can easily see that the volume here is 1 cubic yard, because it's going to be a yard this way, a yard this way, and a yard this way. So the answer to A is 1 cubic yard. Okay, let's take a look at B. How many small cubes are needed to fill the large cube? So what we're trying to answer is how many small cubes are there in this one? Because we understand that this would fit inside this. So we can understand then how many small cubes. So let's just look, if you can, with me at the top layer. Now, if you look at the top layer, can you count how many cubes are on that top layer? Well, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So that top layer has 9 cubes. All right. Go to the next layer. You know there's going to be 9 cubes in the next layer as well. So now you have 18. And there's one more layer, and there's going to be 9 cubes in that one as well. And so you're at 27. 9 times 3 is 27. So how many small cubes are needed to fill the large cube? You said it, 27. All right, question C. Explain how to find the volume of one of the small cubes in cubic yards. What is the volume in cubic yards of each small cube? Well, we know that this is 1 yard. So we're going to start with 1 yard. And you're going to divide 1 yard up by what? Well, how many small cubes were there? 27. Right, so you're going to divide 1 by 27. What's another way that you can write that? 1/27. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to move on to the next page. All right, boys and girls, we're at the top of the page. It says find out more. Prisms in everyday life may have dimensions that are fractional. So you might have, instead of 1 yard by 1 yard by 1 yard, you might have 1/2 by 1/2 by 1/2. So the length, the width, and the height of the small cubes on the previous page are all 1/3. So we've got 1/3 by 1/3 by 1/3, right? And we were able to figure that out and get 1/27 cubic yard. Now it says you can use formulas. Volume equals length times width times height, or volume equals base times height, to find the volume of any rectangular prism, whether the side lengths are whole numbers, fractions, or decimals. And so here they've just shown us what they've done. They took length times width times height, 1/3 times 1/3 times 1/3, and you come up with 1/27 cubic yard. So in the reflect section, it asks us, explain how to find the volume of a cube whose edge length is 1/4 yard. Then find the volume of such cube. So when we had 1/3 by 1/3 by 1/3, we multiplied that 1/3 by 1/3 by 1/3. So if you have a new cube and its edge length is 1/4, you are going to multiply what, guys? Yes, you guys know. 1/4 times 1/4 times 1/4. Now, if you multiply those, if you multiply 1/4 by 1/4, what do you get, guys? Did you say 1/16? Good. And if you multiply 1/16 by 1/4, what's 16 times 4? What is it? It's 64. So you get 1/64. So my answer is the volume is 1/64 cubic yard. I'm just going to write that right here. The volume is 1/64 cubic yard. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we went through that pretty quick. I would like you to go to your PPS pages, which are 279 and 280, and give those a try. All right, thanks, 6th graders. We'll see you tomorrow.